popping out the new rave. You can check the gram 4 years, 22 days. Bitch, we come from poverty, my dog is slide for me. Call that love, I do that.
So we got kicked out of John's because the woman had found out that there was people overnight. It was such a dodgy situation. So, and he really cared about reviews. So I had to be a snaky little bitch on this fella, because he was already a freak with Giovanna anyway.
He was trying to get it on with me one day.
Misuse her.
Yeah, and I was like, no.
And he was just being a creep. And then he was like, right, listen, like, girls, like, you kind of need to leave. What I was like to him, I was like, here, if you want me to write a good review on you, then you're gonna have to help us get a hotel, like a hostel or whatever, for a night or two. Anyways, he was dumb enough to give us the money. When you're broke as shit, like, I'm sorry, you just have to be a bitch and you need to blackmail and this, that and the other. So we gave us $80. So we got to this hostel or whatever. He got us the taxi to the hostel. We were sitting outside and I was like, here, like, listen, if we can fucking just get a taxi out to our last Airbnb fella, then what we can do is we can just ask him if he can stay. And so I just got along really well with his dog, so like we were thinking, like, you know, like there is a possibility that we will be able to stay there. We did end up staying there, and so we got a taxi, like I think it cost us like $50, so we had $40 left over. Like through all of this or whatever, through all of our like experience, like we did actually meet a few really good genuine people who would, like, you know, be sound. Yeah. So once we went from we decided to go to this other couch frat, and we'll call him
Jack.
We went to Jack's, and
he's all the way out in New Jersey.
He wanted it kind of for us to stay with him kind of from the beginning of my couch surfing journey, but I was not arsed going out to Jersey just to see him, so I was like, right, we're kind of desperate for a place, I'll go out to Jersey or whatever. It took me about like 15 minutes from the boat from Manhattan to Jersey City. So then I meet up with him and like he shows me around New Jersey. It's all going good or whatever. I get like good vibes from this guy. I went back to Giovanna and I was like, right, sounds like a nice guy or whatever. Like I get like normal vibes from him, and fucking,
oh boy, was she wrong.
like, it would be like it would be we get to his house is like really nice.
Like when we got there was another girl there as well. She was from France.
She was really cool.
At the start I thought he was like so nice. Like he brought us out for dinner one night, he paid for it.
We offered to pay, but he was like, no, like I'd be offended that,
he's
like,
driving us around and he's bringing us to Edgewater and we see like, you know, the views of New York, and
it's gorgeous. Like,
it's like, oh my god, like I actually like it here. I hate Jersey. Just don't live in Jersey, it's fucking boring.
Then as things go on or whatever, once I go to work, people start to fucking pray on Giovanna.
So the French girl was there as well, but then we had to drop her off to the airport. Nave's in work, I'm in the car with Jack, and like as soon, I'm not even messing, as soon as we pull off, he turns around to me and he's like, about time we got some alone time. And I'm like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I was like
like she doesn't know how to react. It's just an awkward situation.
Yeah, like I'm gonna feel weird being in a car with a fucking man who says we finally get some alone time.
You also can't just turn around and be saying that's really weird, do not talk to me like that, because then where's your car ride?
Where's our house? Where's our home?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. I just started laughing, and then like we're driving and we're stuck in traffic for about like 40 minutes. I mean, like we are not moving, and he's like, take off your glasses. And so I like take off my glasses, and he's like, you look really pretty, like you've such a pretty face. And I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable, and I'm like, thanks. Then he's like, by the way, like you look really pretty in that red dress. I was like, ew, stuck in traffic.
It'd be different if he was attractive. Like he was just about
fat and bald,
like 38, middle aged, just like not good looking.
And he used to just like brag about like younger girls gone from and shit like that, and then he'd like do this thing where he's like,
his hands were like this, like proper
his fingers were like bent.
So we'd be like driving the car and it'd be like this. Joe, you
turning the wheel and he'd be like
yeah, so he'd be like that all the time. Also, what a thing that he'd do was, say if you were like talking to him and you were walking, he'd go like, he'd just be like, yeah, so this is he'd just go up behind you.
He'd be like proper in your face, and I used to be like trying to move back and he'd be like following me.
Yeah, he'd be like right into your face, like, oh my god, like
yeah,
you know.
Nave told him that I'm into black boys. He was like, oh, like he was bringing his friend over and he was like, he's somewhat of colour, like, And I was like, alright, like, we'll see what he fucking looks like. His friend comes, she's bald, and I'm like, nah, not attracted to him.
Not that there's anything wrong with people who are balding, but like, if you're middle-aged and bald, I'm sorry. Life's just over for you.
So I was left up with them because Neve went to bed because she was in work at like 7 in the morning. And the friend was like, oh, do you just want to go for a walk at the Edgewater? And I was like, yeah, like, sure. So I'm like getting myself ready, like put my shoes on, and like Jack is like, I'll leave you two to like walk alone. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm gonna give you two like alone time, like let you get a head start. And I was like, Jack, I was like, I'm not into him like that, like you need to relax.
And this, like, he's like, his friend is actually normal.
And Jack and his friend were like planning a road trip with us, and me and Eve were like, yeah. So we're walking on the Edgewater, and Jack is like getting really like close to me, making really like inappropriate jokes. I was basically saying the only way for someone illegal to stay in the country was to get married. He wanted me to stay in the country. He was getting real close, and he was like, I've never been married before. He was like, yeah. He's like, you know, like it'd be so fun, like we could go to Vegas and get married. I can't say anything because he's letting us fucking live in his house. So I was like, huh? I was like, Jesus. I was like, no, you're mad now. And then he does this thing, he's like, hey, if I'm making you feel uncomfortable, you just tell me. You know, sometimes I get a little bit, I'm just getting he done this thing where he'd make a joke, and like, I'm just kidding.
Another thing about this man was that he talked a lot about himself, would not ask you any questions about you or your life. He was just so about himself and his old relationships. He'd tell us like constantly about his old relationships, and I don't mind talking about them for about like 15 minutes, an hour tops if it's like a desperate situation.
One time when I was left alone with him, he was like talking about his relationships. He's like, what kind of girl are you in the bedroom? And I was like,
Freak.
what? Like, none of your fucking business. And then he started telling me about his sexual experiences, and I think he could just tell by my face that I was just like,
not interested.
nah. I was like, you are being so inappropriate.
So then we end up leaving this guy's house.
Hey Panini, don't you be a meanie. Thought you wanted me to